Once upon a moonless night in the small, quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled deep within the heart of the mysterious Whispering Woods, there lived a young boy named Samuel. He was an ordinary boy with ordinary dreams and a not-so-ordinary problem. He had an inexplicable fear of the dark. It was a fear that had plagued Samuel since he was just a toddler. When the sun dipped below the horizon and the world was bathed in shadows, his imagination ran wild. Every creak, every whisper of the wind, every shadow on the wall sent shivers down his spine. Samuel's parents tried their best to comfort him, but their words of reassurance couldn't pierce the darkness of his mind. One fateful night, when the moon was hidden behind the thick, impenetrable clouds, Samuel's parents decided it was time for a change. They knew that their son's fear of the dark was holding him back from exploring the world and achieving his dreams. They wanted to motivate him to overcome his fears, and they hatched a plan. As the clock ticked past bedtime, Samuel's parents invited him to the living room. With a mysterious glint in their eyes, they handed him a small, ornate box. Samuel's curiosity overcame his fear for a moment, and he eagerly opened it. Inside, he found an old, dusty lantern. This lantern, his father said, has been in our family for generations. It's said to possess a unique magic that can protect you from the dark. His mother continued, but it doesn't work just by itself. You have to light it with courage. Samuel looked at the lantern in awe. It was intricately carved with beautiful patterns, and it felt warm and reassuring in his hands. He felt the newfound determination rise within him. His parents gave him one more gift, a book filled with stories of bravery, courage, and adventures. As Samuel leafed through the pages, he found himself inspired by the tales of heroes who faced their deepest fears and emerged victorious. The stories were not just about defeating monsters and villains, they were about conquering the darkness within. From that night on, Samuel's journey to overcome his fear began. He would sit by his bedside, reading stories of brave knights, fearless explorers, and kind-hearted heroes. Each night, he would venture a little further into the dark corners of his room, his trusty lantern by his side, and the stories in his heart. With each passing night, Samuel's fear of the dark began to wane. He realized that the shadows he feared were simply tricks of the light, nothing more. The darkness held no monsters, no ghosts, and no malevolent spirits. It was merely a canvas upon which his imagination painted its fears. One moonless night, as he looked out of his window and saw the thick, inky blackness of the Whispering Woods, something within him changed. He knew it was time to face his deepest fear, the forest that surrounded Willowbrook. He remembered the stories of brave adventurers who ventured into the unknown, and he knew he had to be one of them. With his lantern lit and his heart full of courage, Samuel set out into the Whispering Woods. The trees rustled, and the wind whispered secrets, but Samuel was unafraid. He walked deeper into the forest than he had ever gone before, and as he did, his lantern's light seemed to grow stronger. He could feel the ancient magic within, protecting him from the dark. As he wandered through the forest, he discovered hidden streams, ancient ruins, and mysterious creatures that had never before ventured into the light. He realized that the darkness was not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It was a world full of secrets waiting to be uncovered, just like the stories in his book. Samuel returned to Willowbrook with a newfound sense of confidence and courage. He became known as the fearless explorer of the Whispering Woods, a local legend who was never afraid of the dark. The lantern that his parents had given him had not only lit his way but had also illuminated the path to his own inner strength. The town of Willowbrook changed too. Children gathered around Samuel to hear his tales of adventure, and they were inspired to face their own fears. They learned that the dark was not something to be feared but an opportunity for bravery and discovery. And so, the town of Willowbrook became a place where children were motivated to overcome their fears, where courage was celebrated. Samuel's lantern became a symbol of the power of courage, and the Whispering Woods were no longer whispered about in fear, but in awe and wonder. The legend of Samuel, the boy who conquered his fear of the dark, lived on for generations. It served as a reminder that courage and determination can lead us through even the darkest of times. And as for Samuel himself, he continued to explore the mysterious and enchanting Whispering Woods, always guided by the light of his lantern and the stories in his heart.